Welcome back. Now we'll talk about log files. In Linux machine, we can see multiple log files for different information. And also, whatever the events generate in the Linux machine also will be captured in the log files. And also, any issue occurs, for example, if any hardware issue or any application issue, we can able to go and check the log files. Log files are used by the administrators to troubleshoot any OS issue or maybe any application issue. For example, in our Linux machine, if we install Apache software and we configure it as a web server, but due to some issues, Apache 2 is not working fine, then as an administrator, we can go and check the Apache log files. Or else, if OS is not performing properly, then we can go and check the OS logs. In this session, we'll go and check what is the location of the log files and what are the different log files are available inside this Linux machine. And we'll talk about the main log files called syslog log file and dmessage log file. So syslog log file contains system information. For example, if you restart any service, then it will be captured by the syslog, or any events occurs, then it will be captured by the syslog. Any kernel related messages, then syslog. All this information, system related information, is going to be stored inside the syslog. And dmessage log file contains hardware information. So that machine particular hardware information, if any issues with the hardware also, it will going to be generated and we can able to see in the dmessage log file. Now let's go and connect to the Ubuntu machine and see the default location varlog, and we also see what are the different log files are available, and we open the syslog and dmessage file. Now let's connect to the Ubuntu. Now connected to the Ubuntu machine, to access the log files you should have root privileges. So as of now I connected as a root user account. Now I'll go to the cd var log. This is a central repository to access all the log files. So by default all the OS related log files will be available here. So if I go here, so I can see multiple log files here, and we are not going to discuss about all these log files. The important log file is syslog. So this syslog always keep on update with the latest information. So whatever the information related to the system or any of the services, all this information will be stored under this log file. So with the more command, we can able to open this file syslog. So you can see log rotation related and stopping any service, starting any service also it is available. All system related information will be available. So it contains everything. So recently like Apache has been stopped and started. So that's the reason we can able to see this information also. So this way syslog is going to be provide you the information about your applications, your kernel related messages and your system information. And also we can able to see multiple log files, and here we can see another message, log file message called dmessage. And if I open this, so I'll open it with more command and dmessage. And if I open this one, so this contains hardware related information, it is going to be displayed. So if you see PCI driver have been compiled for this kernel, so some hardware related stuff will can able to see here. In case in future if you get any alert that if machine is configured with some monitoring and you got alert that so and so hardware is not working, then you can go and check with the dmessage command whether really the hardware is having any problem or not, because it is going to be displayed inside this log file. Any issue with the hard disk or an issue with any other device, then it will be displayed here. So all the hardware related information will be available here. So these are like some default log files will be available whenever you launch any VM, or if you create any VM inside the VMware or VirtualBox, wherever. These are the default OS related log files will be available. Apart from that, in case if you want to configure this Linux server as an web server, then obviously we need to install Apache web service. Or if you want to configure this Linux server as an FTP server, then we need to install FTP package. Same way, if you want to configure this machine as a DNS server, we need to install DNS package. So whenever we install these respective packages, then the log file will be created inside this var log. So I will take an example. Let's say for example you can see here Apache 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this package and then again I will install it. so that it will create a directory called apache2 here, and inside that log files will be available. So I'll remove apt remove apache2 so that the package will be removed, and then again I'll try to install. Once I remove, we don't see this apache2 directory over here. So then again I'll install. So whenever we install new packages, in the meantime we'll go to the PPT. If you want to configure FTP server in the Linux, then we need to install VSFTP package, and a DNS server if we want to configure DNS package. Like this, in Linux we have multiple services like NFS, we have postfix, we have multiple services. So what are the packages we install, respective log file location also will get created for that service, so that it will have its own log files instead of having everything under the syslog. So again, let's go back and connect to the Ubuntu machine. So here the package has been removed. If I go and check here, so whenever we install any packages, so respective directory will also get created in this way. Like already Apache has been installed inside this machine. If you are using Red Hat Linux or CentOS, then you can use HTTP package for same purpose to configure it as a web server. In Ubuntu Debian, we use Apache2 as a package name. So when Apache package is installed to configure this machine as a web server, then by default under the var log, the Apache2 is going to be created, and inside this, if you see, the log files will be available, and you can see error.log and access.log files are available by default. So whoever is accessing that information will be stored inside the access.log in case if this machine is configured with an web server, and whoever cannot able to access any issues, then it will be stored inside this error.log. Same way, if we install DNS package or maybe FTP package, then it will create a directory here inside this var log, same like Apache2, and under that directory, that service itself contains its own log files. So for us as an administrators, it will be easy to troubleshoot the issue. If it is FTP issue, then if someone is not able to connecting to this Linux machine through FTP, then we can go and check the respective log, what is the issue of that particular user. So most of the troubleshootings we can fix if you have the logs. Without logs, it will be very difficult to fix the issues. And also, for example, OS related troubleshooting when you're doing, if it is not specific to Apache, if it is not specific to FTP, like for example, if you want to troubleshoot any OS related, the problem here is in under the var log, the syslog file contains all the information like services. Whenever just if we restart Apache service also, it will be registered. If we restart another service also, it will be registered, and all that OS related information also it will register. So for example, if you are looking for any specific related issue, then you need to go through each and every line. You need to do more and syslog, and then you need to go through that particular time and date and about that service. So instead of that, you can use another command called journal.ctl. Journal.ctl will also give the detailed information of that specific issue. For example, I want to check only Apache related. So I'll just give Apache related. Then if you see, only Apache related information is filtered from that specific log, and it is going to provide only Apache related. So this way you can able to get, for example, I'll clear this screen, journal CTL-U SSH related. In case if SSH related information you want to see, what are the errors. For example, whenever you are restarting SSH service or Apache service, it is not restarting. Then you should know what is the reason for not restarting. So you can check with specific service also, like what is the problem. You can see this log file is only for SSH related. So this is a very good command to troubleshoot only specific related service. Or else, for example, journal CTL-U cron related stuff also you can able to see. Only cron related, if you see here, cron related, so we can able to see, and we can troubleshoot, we can see date. So it's completely filtered for specific service or specific issue, then you can able to see the information. So this is how you can able to see the log files and log information. For example, what we can do, journal hyphen u, I'll use F and U, and then Apache 2. So we can see the live logs of this Apache 2. So I'll connect to the another shell and then I'll restart this service. So you can see the live logs also. So I connected to the another shell. Now I'm going to do service Apache 2 restart, so that we can see the live logs here. So it got updated now. If you see here, just now it got updated. And for example, again I'll just take some space here, and then again I'll try to execute the same thing. And then if I go here, see here, so this way we can able to see the logs with the journalctl command, which is very useful. So this is about the log file information and how to view the logs. We'll meet in the next video.